Following the American Revolution, the role for women in the United States changed, and they were given far more legal, political, and social rights than women in other nations.
Basically, what the myth is saying is after the American Revolution, women were given more rights and became a much more valuable asset in the United States than the women in other nations. The evidence used to bust this myth included evidence from
textbooks.
The information included Benjamin Rush's thoughts upon female education, women's roles throughout the American Revolution, and women's roles and rights after the American Revolution.
During the war, women did in fact have some major shoes to fill. While their husbands were out fighting in battle, they had responsibilities that included running the farms, businesses, and provide food and clothing necessary for the war effort. By doing this, they were fulfilling the major responsibility of maintaining the colonial economy. In some cases, women fought in battles whether to take the place of their husband, like Mary McCauley, or pass as a man, like Deborah Sampson, in order to serve as a soldier. Even after fulfilling all these tasks, women were still considered inferior to men, and were still in second-class status. Benjamin Rush believed that women should have the rights to be issued an education. He states,
"That education, therefore, will be the most proper for our women, which teaches them to discourage the duties of those offices with the most success and reputation."
This is saying that he believes that women needed an education in order to take care of their husband's property.
Benjamin Rush also states,
"A share of the instruction of children naturally devolves upon the woman. It becomes us, therefore, to prepare them, by suitable education, for the discharge of this most important duty of mothers."
This is saying that children's education relies heavily on the mother because they are around them quite often. So in order for the children to grow up and to be wise and highly educated, the mother should have an education in order to teach the children. There were a few cases where women were given some rights. For example, New Jersey's Constitution in 1776 for a time enabled women to vote. Abigail Adams, who was the wife of the first Vice President John Adams, was a major activist when it came to women's rights. She stated to her husband,
"I desire you would remember the ladies and be more generous and favorable to them than your ancestors."
Her attempts were rendered pointless because John rejected Abigail's extraordinary code of laws because he felt that men were more superior to women. But later on, a Republican Motherhood Act was established, and it gave mothers and wives the right to an education in order to better cultivate the virtues demanded by the Republic in their husbands, sons, and daughters.
Is this myth confirmed, plausible, or busted? Based on this information, we can conclude that it is plausible, because after the American Revolution, women were largely regulated to positions in the household versus their multiple duties inside and outside the house during the American Revolution. Even though Abigail begged her husband John to remember the ladies when he was helping to form the new government, the coverture theory still governed the lives of women.
Under coverture, women were legally considered an extension of their husband's legal body and upon marriage ceased to exist for them. So, in the new United States, women's roles were pretty much the same as before the war. The only exception was the Republican Motherhood Act, which gave them the right to an education. So, this myth is